Hello everybody, welcome back to Casual Gamer Oz as we get to the halfway point of Season 4, Round 10. We're at the British Grand Prix, best ever qualifying here. We'll get straight into it. I will mention is 7th back in Season 2 on F1 2017. Our best finish here, 5th. This is one lap qualifying. We're in career mode in F1 2017, our 4th season. Toro Rosso driver, Ben Waterworth. Let's do this. We have another dry session. Now, an increase of the car as well, I will say, the engine power. Now, I have been doing these in order, and the next order actually is to continue a bit of the fuel development, but that involved a 750 point increase. I only had 500 and thought, well, we're at Britain, which is a heavy power circuit, so I thought, let's give a bit of an increase on the power. I went strategic with that one, and that way we're going to have to save up 750 points to get to our fuel saving one. And I thought also it might pay, obviously, we're very close to Italy and Belgium as well. And rather than having to wait around a little bit, I thought we might go for the short-term gain, long-term pain, a bit of the opposite way that we've generally done things here on this Toro Rosso. So we'll see if that pays out for us here. Of course, last year I got way too early into that corner there, I believe it was, and crashed out of what was looking to be quite a good position of this Grand Prix. And we're just losing a bit of pace here around Hamilton, though catching up a little bit. So the engine power slightly up. You can feel it. They only want us to qualify 17th. We're in 9th at the moment. Could be consecutive top 10 qualifyings here in this season, which would be very handy indeed. And I'll remember who my rival is. It's Grosjean, not Hulkenberg. I got very excited. And this little prick in front of us, Lewis Hamilton, he's going to easily get pole here in his home Grand Prix, as he always does, and he will always win this race as well. Took me out. 9th. We equal our best ever qualifying here at Silverstone, so we'll take that. And obviously the decrease in the difficulty makes it a little bit easier for us to get up there, but we've out-qualified Grosjean, we've out-qualified our teammates, so that will work well in our favour. And obviously we see there Hamilton on pole, Ferrari's in 2nd and 3rd, but hopefully we can have a much better race day here than we did last season. Let's get into that. And we're going to do that now. Alrighty. So, best finish here, 5th, as I said, Season 2, same race we qualified 7th. Actually, this isn't equaling our best qualifying. Our best qualifying was 7th. Apologies, correction there. I did say that at the beginning. I'm reading my notes differently. But our reputation didn't take too much of a hit, given that obviously we finished where we were expected to last round, which would have been 10 places ahead of where we were expected to finish last time around. Thank you, Lewis Hamilton. Alright, so how are we going in our rivalry? Oh, we're drawing it now, okay. After losing only 1 point to Hulkenberg. And we move ourselves up in the green a little bit there. That's good. That's very good. Okay. So we've got a dry Silverstone. Let's do this. I'm a bit nervous about this one. Halfway point of the season. And we need to leave Britain before we go to our next Invitational with a good result here for the second half of the season. And maintain this if we want to keep pushing our reputation up higher and higher in order to try and get out of Toro Rosso finally. We're developing this car. It's a bit grey. And I'm looking forward to Italy and Belgium. That should really suit us with the amount of updates we've done to the powertrain. We're actually quite approaching having the best powertrain in the grid. We've just been focusing so much on the powertrain. Anyway, here we go. We're on the outside. We'll whack it up to Rich. How will our British Grand Prix go? We're about to find out. Let's go in Britain. Going to cut across there. We're going to get taken out almost by Esteban Ocon. We know his history when it comes to those moves. Whoa, and I've had to go offline there to avoid the Frenchman. The car to the right of me there. Whoa, and I've been taken out big time. I've caught it. And I've somehow managed to go straight back on the track. No damage. I thought I was going straight into the wall there. And don't know who that was. But that was a scary moment. I'm not sure who that was who decided that it was nice enough to shove me off. But somehow I got pushed straight back onto the circuit. Pretty much in a straight line. And somehow with that I didn't get any warnings for overtaking off the circuit either. So, because I actually did lose positions. So, very interesting to see when we get to the replay about what happened there. But I was just waiting for impact with the wall. I was just waiting for impact. And somehow there was no wall. Well, I got very lucky there. And now we're starting to get racy on the back of Lance Stroll. And we stroll around him at Stowe. We've got a good run on him here. I feel like we're going to get him. We're going to just hang on to it. I'm going to go off circuit. No, he's going to get me back. Good racing there, Lance. I should get you into this corner here. Should be the operative word if I just go a little bit heavy on the brakes. Go myself off circuit, run myself back on track. And that is job done. I'm still shaking a little bit. Well, not shaking, but nervous after that start. How the hell did I get away with that? Somehow or another, I had a bit of luck on my side that time around. It's nice to have a bit of luck on my side for once. As we set about catching Ocon, kind of back to where we started. I'm just going to leave this in rich mode just for a little bit. Obviously you can see that's wearing down our fuel just a tad, but it's also making us gain up here on Esteban. And we can see if we can run with this just a little bit more. See fuel consumption. We're going to improve on that on our next update. And that's also another reason why I decided to take a step back from that one too. 750 points, and that's a major update, which means that takes 2 weeks. So generally you have to wait 2 rounds for that to come through. Which, I mean, realistically, if they're judging it on weeks in the calendar, then that should be, if you did it after Hungary, when that's a 4-week break to Belgium. I don't know if they quite are that technical with it. I got a bit airy there off the circuit there. I got my first warning. So pushing the limits a little bit ragged there. If I can get up to these cars, there's a few of them in a row. There's Hamilton clearly leading this Grand Prix, as often is the case here in Britain. It's kind of like this is his circuit that he'll never lose at, and Vettel will never lose at Singapore. It's kind of, they've based that on real life, I feel, Codemasters. And that's good. A few realistic things there, which they maintain outside of car performance and things like that. Now, well, obviously got DRS will be enabled if I get close enough to these guys. I'm pushing that fuel. I'm going to have to put it down to standard. I'm not going to risk it now. We're just going to do this based on pure performance now. See if we can get in Ocon here. According to the powertrain map, I've got a more powerful engine than the Mercedes engine in the back of that Force India based on development. So we'll see if that is the case. I've waltzed away from Stroll in the meantime. So there's no threat from behind. It's all about catching the Force India, which I don't think I'm going to have a chance to, although I'm still getting there. Down to 1.9 seconds. Ever so slightly reeling him in. Keep it clean. I don't see why I can't get a little bit closer. See what the differential is as we cross the start-finish line just up here. As we do that now. No, he's pulled 4/10 on us. So obviously we lose a bit of time in that back part of the circuit. And starts off this concertina effect once again. Hopefully when we get this major upgrade on the fuel tank, we can whack it into rich mode a little bit longer. And that will enable us to catch him ever so slightly. I still don't trust that. Maybe in the last lap we'll put it up there again. Just hanging on up to him here. Trying our hardest. We're 4 places ahead of our goal, and I'm not sure if Grosjean is ahead or behind us. We started ahead of him by a few slots, so hopefully he hasn't... I'm pretty sure he was behind us, wasn't he? I think when I got spun out, when I came back on track and Stroll was ahead, I'm pretty sure he was behind us. So that should be good. And obviously, we know Sainz is behind us. The guy can't score points. I'm the only one who obviously scores points at Toro Rosso. I think he only scored 1 point now, or 2 points in our first season together. He hasn't scored any since, and yet I'm the one who's getting threatened to be fired. Fair enough. That makes sense. Toro Rosso logic for you there. So we get a little bit closer here to Ocon. But he pulls away there. I think he will pull a little bit more time on me. 2.3, alright, we'll whack it up to rich mode. Final lap on rich mode here. Just at least give half a lap. Yep, cool. Good to know that. Jeffrey, I forgot his name there, I have to call him Jono. Saying that Stroll's dropping back. I can tell that for a fact, given that he's not in my mirrors. And Ocon's dropping back a little bit too, actually. He's the cars in front of him have pulled away ever so slightly. We're not going to be within close enough range, sadly, to get up to him or get DRS. Should have enough in the tank, though, for rich mode to stay selected. And we should be on for our third points finish of the season. Our third 10th place of the season. Of course, Bahrain, we did technically finish on circuit, was at 9th. But we had that penalty. Or was it 8th we finished when we had the penalty? Oh, I can't remember. Should have been 4th last round. We know the should-haves and the would-haves and the could-haves. 1.8 is all we're going to get within Ocon. But I'll be satisfied with this, considering how lucky we got off the start there with whatever the hell happened. I have no idea what happened. I can't wait to see this replay. I cannot wait to see this replay of how lucky I got off the start line there. Because there's no way I should have survived that. We're going to cross the line in a very happy 10th place. Jeffrey.
Good job, you did really well. Super driving.
And that means we've gone the first half of the season without a retirement. 12 races in a row without a retirement. Is that possible? Is that possible? We're actually doing fairly okay at the moment. So we'll take that. And I'm looking forward to this replay. I am looking forward to seeing what happened. Let's see here, off the start line, how I ended up backwards and not in a wall. Okay, good start there. Clipped Ocon straight away. I said, get out of my way, I'm coming through, but I pushed him forward. We've gone in here to turn 1. I've run myself wide. It's going to be a Williams again. Was that Russia that was a Stroll? And he's just clipped me ever so slightly, and look how close I have been there to a wall, and I've just gone, thank you. Well, I got incredibly lucky there, and I've shoved Grosjean out of it there as well as I try and get myself back on track. Wow. So lucky. And we'll take that. So, we look at the championship standings. I'm equal now with Lance Stroll in 12th. 11th, actually. And Vettel leads the championship quite comfortably. Constructors, no change there. We're still in 7th, 2 ahead of Renault. Well, there we go, folks. It's been a lot of fun bringing this race. We've gone 10 races without a retirement this season, and 12 in a row in total if we count the last 2 of last season. We've got another invitational event before we get to Hungary. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment here on Casual Gamer Oz as we continue to move forward on our career mode here in Season 4. Thank you for watching. We'll speak to you next time. Good night.